So how we differentiate, I think my photography or my image is that I think at the end of the day, everybody has its own audience. There is like the really successful people say, there's enough money to be made for everybody in this world. There's an abundance of audience, of funds, of countries. So there's no competition. We can coexist, I think. We also, my platform speaks about also, let's say, independent watches, and the quality of work we do is maybe on a higher level than it used to be. Because when I started my blog, there was not many people that covered independence, or not many people went to Vianney Halter in the mountains, or to Hadiman, or Akrivia back when it wasn't hot. So that was my dedication in the past. The only blogs I found it was maybe Quill and Pad, SJX, but that wasn't enough to basically start my own channel. So I needed to learn photography and see those independents and really gave them a platform. And now some of them are, we work together. Some of them, we're friends since 5 years now, and it's cool to support let's say the little guy, because they make great products, but sometimes don't even have time to learn marketing. Why do mechanical watches exist? I think I can connect it probably to my life. As my life became busier, okay, I started going back to the Stone Age basically. So I need, because my life is busy with the social media and digital stuff, phones, calls, whatever. In my evenings, I sometimes go home and I just write with my, like, how do you call it, the fountain pen. I write in a book, basically my thoughts. And you could do this with your laptop, but somehow going back to analog things, which watches are, it lets you breathe a bit again. And I don't have an Apple Watch because I don't want my wrist to be buzzing. Hey, you have a new message. Hey, look at me. A watch doesn't do that. When you look at a watch, the oscillation, calms you down a bit. And it's also art. Like, I think analog watches compared to just electrical watches or digital watches, there's no soul in them. Like a machine made them together, a chip in Silicon Valley with the work in China or whatever. And this mechanical watch, where somebody put their life into it, their name, their work. It's just, you have a person's soul on your wrist basically. So over the last, let's say, 5 years, I learned about many more independence. Lately, I've been not obsessed, but very interested in, let's say, Lundi Bleu. I love how, let's say, they made these stone dials more affordable. Lundi Bleu. Yeah, le chat de fond. See? I love Lundi Bleu because they made, let's say, these malachite, aventurine, onyx dials, which used to be, in Rolex watches or horlogerie, very expensive. They made them down to 4, 5, 6,000 euros. They use, I think, a Japanese movement. Don't quote me on that. But you have also the option of getting an ETA movement. But it's all about the dial, so you can source, whichever dial you want. What I also love is I'm very happy for the success of Konstantin Chaikin, because I think he's a watchmaker who should deserve recognition. In the past, much more. But with the Joker, he really, let's say, skyrocketed his brand. I think, it should be more about the other watches he's making. But because of the Joker, I think it's good that he, people see him now and recognize him. He's also president of the academy. But I also love mainstream brands. I'm not a indie, let's say, hardcore. I mean, I love independence, but I also think the big brands also do a great job because they pave the way. They they make people wear watches in a very wide way, big way. So two brands that I like, and probably I'm gonna get hated on, is I like Hublot, because although, let's say, people bash them on social media, the mainstream perceives them as great watches. I love how diverse they are. We did my friend did a special edition which was launched in November with Singapore Watch Club. It was a linen dial Chinese numeral Hublot, which I'm happy to own one. Another brand that I really like is I like Urwerk, man. I just love Urwerk. I think they're sticking to their identity. We're gonna build watches which we like, and if you like them, you'll buy them. If not, we don't really care that much, basically, because they've carved out this small niche of collectors which support them. As a quote-unquote outsider to the industry, because I come from Slovenia and I wasn't born here, I would just tell everybody that you can do this, basically. If you want to work in this industry, just try to find a way how you could set a mark, be nice, learn a skill that people can use, and also just go visit all the watchmakers. Don't be afraid to reach out to anybody, because 10 years ago I had this dream of moving to Switzerland, and now I'm living my dream as working in the watch industry, basically. So I think I'm very a very inspirational, let's say, person. I love to inspire people, and I love to give them advice. So I think whatever your wish is, if you want to build your own watch, you want to be the best photographer, just go at it, and you can make it happen.